Hi guys, this is my trick of how to save space on your HTV heat transfer vinyl so you're not wasting rolls. So normally when you cut you would have a weeding box, but if I were to have a box, the space right here would be wasted. So what I did was I did an offset, and then after I cut it, I would just weed out right here where the offset is. So that way all of these are still intact with the roll. So then after that, you would need to either cut the offset really strong on your silhouette so it cuts through the backing, or you can just use a scissor and make a slit and then cut along the offset. So you just have your image and then you just press down to your whatever you're pressing onto. Okay, and then afterwards then you have all these extra space. There is going to be a hole because you did cut your image out of your roll already. So what I do is I would put it onto a mat. And then, okay, I already cut it, but I would put it onto a mat and then line it up. So line it up on top. So normally we would line it up here where the 0 and 0 is, but I lined it up all the way to the edge. That way the machine will think it's cutting it's cutting matless even though it's on a mat. When you start it, make sure you start the line where your vinyl is, not where your mat is. So normally we would line it up here. You want to line it up here. So again, the machine will think it's matless. So you want to keep your roll on, you don't want to cut your roll, you want to keep it on the roll while also on the mat. You do have to keep an eye on it because the mat will start to go like this. So try and keep your hand on it and guide it as it cuts. So after it gets cut, you want to move your images up. So you want to highlight everything and then you want to move it up carefully so everything is still in place. And then you just go to the next spot, and then from there you're gonna cut out that piece and then you work on where it's still empty. So for it to not cut what you already did cut, when you go to the send tab, you just want to highlight everything you cut previously and you just put no cut, and all you're left with is the image you do want to cut. Okay, so these I forgot to do an offset because I was planning on just doing this one and I was just gonna cut a line so I can start anew, but I ended up messing up that one, so I cut this one and then I totally forgot to do an offset for this. So I'm probably just gonna end up cutting here or finding a way to save this space so I still have this whole thing plus the whole roll. But anyways, so yeah, that's my trick. Instead of doing a weeding box, you do an offset. You weed out your offset and then you cut where your offset was. So you have your image, but you're gonna have a hole on your mat from where your image was. So you stick it onto an actual mat, but all the way to the edge of the mat. So the machine will think you're cutting matless, so you can actually go past the 12-inch without buying the 24-inch mat. And then under design, you just put it as none, and then media size, you just put it as however much you want. Oops, I want it to go this way. So since the roll is still on the mat, it's still connected. It doesn't matter what size you're cutting it, so you can keep cutting it and use up the empty spaces. Okay, any questions? Hopefully that makes sense. Just leave a comment down below. Thanks. Bye.